Hello and welcome. Today I'm on TrackDayR, spinning some laps on Redbud on the 250 here. Now, real quick, I've been sick for the past few days, so if I sound a little off, that is why. I finally have enough energy to whip out a video, though, hopefully. And yeah, going back to this game, I've owned it for about a week or two. I've known about it for quite a while, actually, like pretty close to probably when it released on Steam. I thought it was cool that there is, another like bike simulator on Steam, but they did not have motocross, so I never really picked it up because I do like road bike stuff, but obviously not nearly as much as motocross. So then I saw that they added motocross, saw a few videos on it. Still didn't really pique my interest because it didn't necessarily look fantastic, but since they have been putting out tons and tons of updates, and after watching a couple videos by like Linz and Wyndham and whatnot, I figured the game actually looks fairly decent, so I was gonna pick it up and try it out for an hour or so and then just return it on Steam just so I could at least experience it. But after playing it, I decided to keep this game because it is really, really fun. Like, the biggest thing was I spun probably like 15-20 minutes or so on a track without even realizing it. And I feel like it's a pretty good compliment to any sort of like simulator or racing game. If you can just sit there and play and spin laps without even like thinking about it, it's probably have something going for it. And the best way I can explain this game, which I've heard other people say it as well, is that little corner though was kind of sick actually. I'll come back to that, but the best way I can explain this game is it kind of feels like a better Milestone game. The whips are exactly the same as they are in the Milestone games. You either pull the sticks apart or push them together to throw a whip. Let's see, I'll try to throw it here. So yeah, we'll push them together, kind of throw a little whip. But there does seem to be a bit more to the whips. I don't know exactly what I'm doing or how to change them, but like one of the things is, tapping the back brake to kind of lower the front end, like I'll do here, so you can whip out and then tap the back brake to kind of throw it out a little further, I guess. Is super sick. I have thrown some massive whips, but I could not replicate it. I have no idea how. This is a pretty fun jump to scrub there, but yeah, I've thrown some massive whips, like on the level of like MX bikes or something. I just have no idea how I did it. Like maybe it was kind of a mistake, or like I hit something just right to where it kicked out all crazy. But yeah, I've thrown some massive whips, but I had no idea how to do them. So any tips or anything in the comments, let me know. And I guess while we're on the topic of tips and whatnot, cornering feels really good in this game. I'm not sure how to properly use the rider lean. Like I don't know if I should weight the outside peg like that, or if I should try to like push both sticks together like that. I'm sure it's something that they're still working on because obviously this game's very early and they've been dropping a lot of updates. So it might be something that'll change, but for now I don't necessarily know what to do for the corners. I've just kind of not been using rider lean a whole lot, but let's see if we can clear this and maybe there we go. I don't know, the whips look good even though they're kind of like canned whips. They have a good flow to them, I guess, and I'm sure they'll just get a little better over time. But yeah, the cornering feels really good, and in that kind of like first corner where I was like, oh, that corner is sick. The reason I said that is because the ground physics feel amazing in this game. And one of the reasons why is because you can kind of ride with the rear wheel, like yeah, that wasn't a good example, but like in that corner specifically, when I pointed it out, I kind of made the corner by like sliding through with the rear wheel. That is something that's like easy to accomplish in this game. Like if you lose the rear wheel, you can definitely kind of use it to your advantage. Like here, if I slide around the corner, I don't know, that wasn't a good example either, but it's kind of hard to do. And I am not good at this game. I've only been playing it for a little bit, as we blow the corner here. But yeah, you can do a lot of like steering with the rear wheel kind of thing, which is super cool because, like, you know, at MX bikes, for example, like if you lose the rear end, you're kind of screwed. There's not like a whole lot you can do. It just kind of snaps on you. Let's see if I can maybe, like, there we go. Like, it's kind of hard to see, but I like that. I was just pretty much sliding the rear end. There again, we went up the berm a little bit, so it didn't really work out how I wanted to. But yeah, you can definitely probably get good at like sliding the rear end around in corners and like squaring them up or random things like that, which is super sick. Also, another thing I really like about this game is the suspension. I feel like it kind of works how I'd want it to. Like if the Milestone games, if their like rear wheel reacted in the way that it does in this game, I feel like I would enjoy those games so much more, because the biggest problem I have with the Milestone games is I just don't feel like I'm connected to the ground properly, which is weird because like the very first MXGP game, that was like one of the plus points, was how good the ground physics felt. But I feel like they've lost that. Like the back tire here actually feels like it's connecting the way it should. And that includes suspension as well. Like the MX or the Milestone games, they always feel like so rigid and stiff, and like the suspension's not actually doing anything. It just kind of seems like you're slamming into bumps and jumps and whatever. Whereas this game, there is a little bit of that on hard impacts, or actually a lot of that on hard impacts. But when it comes to like braking bumps and things like that, like I don't know, it feels like it reacts the way it should. So I am a huge fan of that. Like just watching the rear wheel as you kind of like go over jumps like here. So like there, you know, you land flat, and that part doesn't necessarily seem a bit realistic. But again, I overjumped the jumps. But if I would have like downsided that the way I should have, then I don't know. It just looks so good. Very hard to explain, but I just feel like I'm connected with the ground. And obviously that is a huge thing for motocross, specifically for ruts and braking bumps and things like that. But yeah, I am very excited to see the direction this game goes, because already, again, I already enjoy playing this more than a Milestone game, and this is very, very early access. It's very easy for me to just load up a track. Like, say I'll pick like a 15-minute session, and that session will end way before I was expecting it to, just because I'm lost in trying to spin laps and, you know, kind of figure out the quirks and physics of this game. So yeah, that's definitely a plus when it comes to motocross games. If you can just spin laps and kind of forget about time, then, you know, it's doing something right. Again, we'll scrub that little table there. But yeah, highly recommend this game. Highly, highly recommend this game. I kind of slid into that corner a little bit like I was talking to. Might be hard to see. But yeah, that's another one of those things, is like the game feels way better than it may look. And for me, even when I was watching videos, the game looked pretty decent, which is why I picked it up, and it even feels better. So, ooh, kind of kick that whip out a little, I don't know, a little extra, I guess. But yeah, highly, highly recommend this game. I want to do some Supercross, but I'll probably save that for a separate video, just because this one's already getting kind of long. but that will kind of show off a little more of like suspension, I'd say. Also, I noticed the terrain deformation more when riding Supercross, so I can kind of talk about that. But I think that'll do it for this video, at least. That way I can get the main talking points out of the way. But yeah, huge fan of the direction this game's going. I'm very excited to see what the developers do from here on out. And either way, if you appreciate this video, a thumbs up would be awesome. And until the next one.